Hey everybody, it's time for another Redneck review. This is Robert, the Red Prince here, and today we are going over Iron Man number 23, and the new story arc is called Rings of the Mandarin. It's following up after the last issue of Iron Man, the Iron Metropolitan storyline, where Iron Man learned that the greatest weapons of his greatest enemy, the Mandarin's rings, were actually sentient beings, sentient computers, that have sworn vengeance against him for destroying the Mandarin. Alright, well, let's get this one started. Alright, it's done again by Karen Gillian and Luke Ross, and the book is a $3.99 book, so obviously, you know, we don't like the $3.99 price. We miss our old $2.99 price here, but there you go. Alright, here we go. So we start off in a non-Earth, or even in usually where this comic takes place, but we start off here in Svartalheim, home of the Dark Elves. Here's the little tale that goes on this opening part. Once upon a time there was a fair elvish kingdom. Svartalheim was the jewel of the 9 realms, and was hated and loathed for its beauty. Long had jealous gods wished it ill. They gathered behind the backs of the beautiful ones and whispered spitefully. The Dark Elves, they called them. Long had the kingdom suffered. In the days just prior to this tale, elves toiled under traitor lords who wreathed and squirmed to tone of their Asgardian masters. And all the while, the true fell suffered. The age was over. A new age had begun. The true king returned. And as we saw the one in the last issue, the one after the kingdom itself, after the new rings, is Malekith the Accursed, longtime Thor villain, probably one of his number 2 villains. All right, well here we go. Malekith the Accursed sat on the ebony throne, accursed as he was cursed by his enemy, and his enemies were all the world wish ill upon the elves of Svartalheim. So it basically tells you the story of how Malekith got his ring in the first place. One of the rings in this picture right here comes to him and says, and Malekith the Accursed, the earth is in peril. It must be saved. What is that threat? He says, yes. Midgard, not Earth. And he tells him, I want you to call it Midgard because that's what I'm always known by. And he goes, he's listening to the ring talk. He goes, Tony Stark? You want me to say Tony Stark, do you not? The ring goes, yes. He goes, you would ask the king of the elves whether he despises a man of iron. So obviously he accepts it, that you would ask the king of the elves whether he despises a man of iron. Now come here. Error, escape, promotion. Even the ring realizes what kind of a bad choice this is, because, Malekith is a whole nother level of crazy. Well, the story switches to Iron Man in New York City after his recent failures with Troy, the Mandarin City. He goes, I'm Tony Stark. I recently discovered I was adopted and had a secret brother, Argo. The story has nothing to do with that. I'm a multimedia icon, as good a capitalist. I turn that into a hot cash to fund my favorite projects, which is basically saving the world in sports cars. The commercialization of Iron Man has led to products you wouldn't believe. Relevantly, he's turned into a musical, he's saying. So basically, Tony to stay rich has had to cash in on his persona, is what it's trying to get at you right here. So Iron Man is his new cash cow, no matter what it was. That doesn't bother me. You hire an artist. Don't be surprised when you get art my people messed up. And they replaced him and took it poorly. That's business. That's a business suit problem. I also have Iron Man and Iron Suit problems. So we see him, and he's basically hunting down more of the rings that have been taken down. There's this new Mandarin 8. Options are, I am the lightning conductor. Basically, this dude has no business holding a ring. Yes, this is me discovering that one ring ended up with the temperamental artiste who artistic temperament is tearing up Broadway. So basically, one of the rings found its way into a disgruntled actor who was looking to get even, and he's not being too choosy. He's tearing down Broadway, like a lot of actors want to do. During the midst of the battle, while Iron Man is trying to take care of this, he goes, and this guy has no idea what's going on. He's basically, the rings can put a real damper on Tony. It's really cool in this comic that the Mandarin's rings are pretty much more powerful than Iron Man is, but his mind is what keeps him through it. Well, as you can imagine, Malekith shows up and takes this guy out pretty quick to grab his ring. And now we know who. So now, as my suit reboots, he tells him, he goes by that, what he means now is he was wondering who was taking the other rings from the other Mandarins. And now he finds out it's Malekith. He goes, I'm forced to watch the Dark Elf King paint Broadway scarlet. I understand why Thor hates the elves so much. Malekith makes it easy. Active. And now he's just picking up the body of this guy. He's picking up his arm right here and trying to get the ring off of him. I mean, he is just going to town on this old little conductor. And quickly teleports away. Iron Man is getting really mad at this teleporting thing because he can't come up with anything to help him out. He goes, damn. He goes, I'm sorry. Tony, to base, we've got a confirmation that the ring hunter is Malekith the Accursed. He goes, I know. He goes, so contact Thor? He's like, no, you don't need to contact Thor. I'm going to handle this. The rings are my department. Alright. Well, Tony figures he can't handle this on his own, so he goes to the Maria Stark Foundation, the super psychiatric hospital from the criminally insane. He goes, how's the patient? This kind of goes back to an older issue of this woman that Tony found in this cult that was supposed to bring forth this great annihilator baby, this Antichrist, basically. And he goes, call me Dark Angel when I'm working, Tony. Just give me a second to finish up. And basically this chick is a occult specialist. She deals in magic, stuff like that. I remember when I used to be the supernatural it girl. Now I'm an on-contact supernatural IT girl. And done. Let's go see the poor thing. I got to say, Tony Stark knows way too many redheads. I mean, that cannot be good for his health. Well, this is where I was started out. This woman from one of the older issues is sort of getting bigger, and she was basically turned into extremist to be this, like I said, vessel for a new entity. And Tony's just trying to figure out, and she didn't look that wide earlier before. It's probably setting up for another story arc, which is always cool. Always cool. Well, the story switches to London, where the former Mandarin, Abigail, or Red Pearl as she's been called, is trying to adapt to her life with just not having hands and being a reporter. And she's contacted by Arno. He goes, hi, Mrs. Barnes. Sorry about everything that's gone on. I've got some software to make life easier on actions from the beta. Do you need any help? Arno. He goes, you're Arno. I've got your closed beta. You're the guy who took over running Stark City. Correct, Miss Barnes. And you've received an experimental prediction engine based on my analysis of language structure. I spent most of my life in an iron lung, so I've worked out all sorts of shortcuts to communication. If you don't have hands, it'll be better than any speech analysis system on the market. I told Stark I'm going to tell you, I won't accept any unearned privilege. You don't just have your fingers and magic away my problems with your money when everyone else pays. No, this will be for free, he tells him. She goes, for free to everyone? Yes. He goes, well, I mean, how do you know Stark? Stark, do you know him well? She asks, goes, you don't seem like someone who would be like, because she still has a low opinion of Tony Stark. And he goes, yeah, Tony Stark, I know him. Well, how well does anyone know anyone? He's gone through a lot. He's suffered more than he likes to say. He's been in denial over certain problems. He's past that now and getting angry. It's predictable, but that doesn't make it any easier. So, Arno's out there trying to do good, and basically what Tony would have him do, because deep down, Tony wants to be the guy who actually helps people. Alright. Well, we're back at Dark Angel's lab, where Tony is filling her in on the problem on all these other Mandarins, and explaining that Malakath has been the one after all the rings to take the Mandarin's place, as it were. So he comes up to her and starts asking her about, just our, how do, if, I were trying to sneak into the White House, I would use stealth armor. Because the reason I've called you is you're an occult specialist, so I need someone who knows magic. He says, you're the magic expert. You're the way I get into Spartalheim. He goes, okay, how can you invert me into Hardyland with magic penalty? We get 3 doors with a cooldown between. And there's a quantum field that needs to be restabilized before we insert anything else. So this is quantum physics and not magic. No, it's magic, but stop it. You're paying me to deal with this for a reason. Basically saying, look, stay out of things you don't understand. I'm a specialist now. Let me give you what you pay for. So basically, they've created a portal to take them to Svartalheim undetected. And Tony's telling them, with the armor modifications you made, you should be fine. And Tony chose his stealth armor, so it's not an armor particularly made for combat. He goes, stealth mission armor Iron Man would be like launching a nuke at them. No way we insert you quietly and out of the way. I want this to be textbook. Don't you mean spellbook? Sorry, tells. Don't joke. You don't want a spellbook entry, spellbooks at your brains. Haven't you read your Lovecraft on the mark? So she teleports him away, and where does she teleport him? Right in the throne room of Malakath. So this plan of Tony's, this first set of it, is just gone totally wrong, and Tony's got to find a way out of it. Okay, guys. Well, that's Ring of the Mandarins #1, the first new story arc on it. The new Iron Man saga. Okay. For the art, I'm going to give it about what I usually give it, about 4.75. The story, to start off with, has been great. I love Malakath the Accursed. He is one of my favorite Thor villains. I can't honestly say that I understand why Iron Man has to fight him too at this point. I think it's cool that the Mandarin Rings are looking for these insane people, and it's going to be a good story, I think. I just don't... Wouldn't be my choice, but it's not a bad story. Okay, guys, well, that's your Redneck review. It's 4.75 and a 5 on the art. Alright, guys. So leave us some comments below. Tell us how you're thinking about this. Leave me and Lane some stuff, too. I think it's going to be doing some more reviews here soon. So thank you, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. God bless you.